We are back and one step closer to completion on the DX project. The valve cover has finally come in from Charlie. It's been about 2 months. It came back in a matte black, which looks pretty rad. We'll go take a closer look at that. So the valve cover came back from powder coating in a matte black finish. Turned out real nice. Looks exactly how I'd expect it, but the time it took to complete it, about 2 months, plus shipping both ways, I don't think it's worth the effort, as local powder coaters can do a similar finish to this. What sold me on Charlie's work was that he CNC machines out all these faces here. To give it a nice reveal, you won't have the sandblasted edges here, or chemically darkened exposed aluminum. So when they mill it, it comes out very bright and nice. So that sold me with it. Another thing that sold me with the finish was the back of it. When you sandblast it, this plating comes off and sand gets trapped behind it. So he actually drills this out and removes it. And for $180 US, the coating plus this, it's a great value. But I do have some things to note about it. So the finished product is okay to most. I do feel that there are issues with it. You'll have dust inside here, which I don't like if you're not running a cover. The lettering was hand roll-locked, so it had some very unlevel surfaces there, and it looked kind of amateur to me. So if I send this locally, it'll come back the same way. They'll mask this, and one thing I gotta note is locally they won't even sandblast. Most powder coaters do sandblast, but if you find a decent one, chemically remove the surfaces. So it's unnecessary to even plate this or remove it, because when it's chemically washed, sand will not even be in their process, so it won't get trapped behind this. So this is actually an unnecessary step. Even if the acid strips the coating off this is in a closed environment, and it's most likely going to be covered with oil a majority of its life, so you will not see any oxidation or rust on the surface. So that, I feel, is unnecessary. Also the bolts, I prefer the rivets because there's less chance of these vibrating and falling off in your engine bay. And those are my thoughts with the valve cover. If you can find a nice local powder coater, I do recommend that. I was super happy how this came out. This will go great in pretty much a blacked out build. Also my wheels are gunmetal, so hopefully this sets off the engine bay nicely. Also, they did machine in a logo for me while stripping out the Hasport logo. Okay, we're back in the garage. I have the valve cover pulled out. So we're gonna get some new hardware. I have ordered a new gasket. It's sitting inside my house. And we can get that installed, but I'm gonna leave this here temporarily. It's sealed already. So, because I'm gonna be pulling out the valve cover multiple times, I don't want to reapply the silicone on the edges here. So, let's grab the valve cover. Okay, so we have the hardware for the valve cover. We got new nuts, and we have the washers in chrome for this valve cover. So we're gonna make sure, on the bottom of the valve cover, I have used thread lock on these and install them and torque them evenly, so they hopefully don't back out. Also, I've gone ahead and replaced these with brand new OEM washers or seals, and we're just gonna go ahead and put that on this. Just line this up a little bit outward more, and then we can push it in after. Screw that on like that. Looks like it's seated, sealed, no high spots, and we're good. New washer. Let's install a couple of those. Just gonna hand tighten the nuts just a turn or two. That's not right. That doesn't go there. We need to get the spark plug cover first, and then it has its own hardware. So 4 nuts for that. 1, 2, 3. And we're missing one. Nice. So I've installed my 98 spec spark plug cover. I personally don't feel that this looks great on any valve cover except black. This is the first time I've actually seen it look okay. But I'm definitely not going to be running it. I'm going to be running an aluminum billet cap and spark plug cover. Let's just tighten these up. Just tightened up these guys, I think. No, I have not. Just put the low torque setting on. Just tighten that guy up. And we good. We got some old Spoon Sports oil cap from this vehicle. I have a new one in the house, but just for the sake of not damaging anything right now, I'm just gonna toss that on temporarily. Alright, we have the engine mount ready to go in. It does look like the valve cover needs to pop off again, but I'll do that later. I have new side plastic, so I was going to pop the top one in. Also, after fighting with it, I got the engine mount sitting on those two, but I still have to put in the side mount bolts in. Looks real good. I'm actually quite surprised. Black Box is the company that did the ceramic coating, Cerakote, on the engine mount. They actually picked out the color. I love it. Turned out real nice. One thing I do recommend to anyone is if you're working on a single make, single model, so I'm working on a lot of Hondas, is to speed up workflow without actually rushing the job. It's good to take a look at your tool setup. So here I have a 90 tooth ratchet just to speed it up. You can get a 120. It'll speed it up over the the regular Craftsman or whatever you have. So that's one thing is the tools, but your setup. So I've organized this box specifically for these Hondas. I keep my 17 mil, 19 mil there, and I divide them so they're quicker to find. I have my 10s, 12s, and 8s in here. My 10s and 8s in here, my 12s and 14s here. I have a lot of each. I have my flare nuts in the sizes I need for these cars. Got the short, stubby ones. And then I just have my socket sets here. Though I have another toolbox just for these sockets themselves, I've specifically moved a certain set of sockets here that are for this vehicle. So I have two 12s in the long, 12s, 17s, 19s, but I don't have my other smaller ones that I don't need. If I do need them, I'll go over there and grab them, because sometimes cars have exhaust with 13s and other weird sizes aftermarket. So for the standard ones, I'll go head over to that box. But just set up your 8s, your 10s, 12s, 17s, 19s, 21s. I put them right at the edge here. I don't want to go over there. I don't want to open a toolbox to grab them. I need them ready to go. This is because I hang around with a lot of mechanics or techs, and they always have their little cart, and their cart has their one or two tools they love, and it just makes the job faster. And it actually helped me this year speed up things, so I know exactly where they are. I don't have to go hunt for them. And this is only one size. These are the ½ inch, not the 3/4. The 3/4 are there if I need them. But I do mostly hand tools when I'm tearing apart a car. I don't really use power tools at all, because they mar and damage the bolt heads. Not unless I know I'm going to throw it out. But that's just a tip for you guys. Just have the tools. If you don't use them, put them away, because then it just gets really cluttered like it is now. Like I have some things getting sanded, getting ready for paint, and some parts for this car, but I just keep them on the top so they're ready. ASR finally received the brakes from AP Racing, so they've sent them to my friend Dan in Atlanta. They wouldn't ship them to Canada for some reason, but I got them shipped to my friend in Atlanta, and he's shipping them to me, so they should be here within a few days. So we'll finish this car up, we'll get the brakes on, the rear control arms, the subframe brace, the sway bar, and I'll get the video completed for that next, and I'll show you guys my process and thoughts when I install the sway bar. I always go through and check if there's binding before I completely finish it up. So I'll show you guys that process the next time. So stay tuned. Sorry it's been so long. I have been waiting for parts for months, so those APs have been 3 months or 4. This valve cover 2 months. Took forever. Won't do it again. And now I have a new partnership with Black Box Industrial. They're on IG. You can find them pretty easy. They do a lot of firearms coatings. So for that means the reason I chose them and the reason I want to partner with them is because firearms are very detailed. When you're doing coatings and finishing, they have a lot of moving mechanisms, metal on metal, and they do a lot of fine work with them, masking, detail machining, and things like that. They are a full machine shop as well, so they will be a great team to partner with on this vehicle. We're going to be sending them my AP Racing brakes. They're going to be coating those all up, and few other things that I might want to redo. They're going to take care of it all. So that'll be fun. I'll catch you guys on the next one.